Disclaimer. This video may potentially trigger seizures for people with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised. Formed in 1993 by Guy Manuel and Thomas Bongalter, Daft Punk has gone on to become one of the most well-recognized electronic artists in the music industry. Despite disbanding in 2021, the two have descended onto the Fortnite island for one last concert. Around 2 months ago, users could spot a large all-black monolith near Foxy Floodgate, a point of interest on the island. As the date of the event got nearer and nearer, players would notice occasional changes happening to the monolith, eventually culminating in the full reveal that the monolith was a gateway to what is now called the Daft Punk experience. This event takes form in an interactive concert with multiple elements combined. If you waited before the concert was supposed to start, you'd find yourself spawning in right next to the monolith with a 30-minute countdown. Once the counter had finished, the monolith would open and suck in everyone. The opening scene begins with the song Contact, as we look at the Earth. After we hear some transmissions, we can spot a white diamond approaching us quickly. Once we go through the diamond, we can spot Stella, a member of the fictional music group called the Crescendolls, created in collaboration with the now late Japanese artist Leiji Matsumoto. Rest in peace. After Stella greets us, we go through almost a labyrinth of different visual effects and surroundings, finally descending upon an empty, deserted planet. From there, you gain control back of your character and enter first-person mode. In the distance, you can see a reflective light, and once you walk up, you'll either find Guy's or Thomas's helmet. Your character will tap it a few times, but not before it plays a snippet of the song Touch, which I think is fitting. On the topic of fitting, you will eventually fit the helmet on, and it will take you to a pyramid which acts as the experience's lobby. Before you can move in the lobby, you'll spot Daft and Guy and Thomas, both playing in the middle of the pyramid with its midsection removed. Right after, a banner for Alive 2007 will pop up. This is referencing their live album in 2007 under the same name. The songs featured in the album are all recorded from the Palais Omnisport de Paris-Bercy, or now known as the Accor Arena. Most of the songs featured in Alive are mashups of multiple of their most famous songs, including One More Time, Around the World, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, and more. For the most part, Fortnite stayed on track and incorporated a lot of these tracks from Alive into the concert. The exception being some tracks like One More Time are played individually and not mashed up. There are other examples too. Throughout the concert, each song gets a new layout of some sort in the center stage, usually with platforms and visual effects to complement the beat of the song. Around the stage, there are bounce pads that fly you up in the air and allow you to get a great view of the duo and any ongoing effects. I won't go into depth onto each track specifically, as I highly encourage you to watch a re-upload of the concert in full, or straight up playing the experience in its entirety. It's incredibly fun. I did want to touch up on the lobby, however. You can find multiple different things to do. Along with that, you can spot a large number of Easter eggs and references throughout. Personally, my favorite is the statues around the walls. You can find 2 interactive game modes that will take you into a separate experience. I guess a sub-experience is a fitting name. These 2 being Robot Rock Arena and Around the World. Robot Rock Arena is a wave-based shooter with electronic elements, this taking form in the music played and the weapon you use. The weapon upon being fired can do one of 2 things, depending on which one you use. It can either add an extra funky beat or add vocals to the song, both of which are great complements to the game mode and allowed me to stay focused while taking down waves of robots. Some enemies would drop blue hearts and give you shields, and the green hearts you could find around the map and in the center after every wave would give you health. This is a great addition as it allows you to stay in the fight a bit longer. Around the World is a LEGO sub-experience which has you recreate the Around the World music video with LEGO. Who would have guessed? Basically, you pick up random minifig NPCs around the area and dump them into the stage to play various instruments. Along with this, you can collect different LEGO models and display them next to the stage, all of which culminates into your very own around the world music video entirely in LEGO. From there, you can find 3 more experiences, but these take form in portals that don't require you to leave the main game mode. The first and my personal favorite is the Daft Club. It's a pretty simple club that plays multiple different songs that gives you that club vibe almost. Something important to note with the Daft Club is this is actually an homage to the Daft Club online community. It was originally set up by Daft Punk to help promote their album Discovery. Each album sold also contained a Daft Club card which resembled a credit card. You would use it to access the website. After Discovery, the duo also created a remix album under the same name. I thought this was the greatest homage and reference they could have gone for, and I'm glad they did it. It brings back those early 2000s vibes, especially in its design. Intentional or not, it's awesome, and I love this side area. The music selection here was also great. Some of their greatest hits were playing in here, and it made for a nice area to just hang out for a second to settle before coming back out to the concert. Inside of the club, you can spot Guy and Thomas chilling out inside, and I think that's an awesome touch to everything. Next, you can find a portal that will take you to a Daft Punk exclusive jam stage, where you, and optionally another player, can remix Daft Punk songs together, combining drums, lead, and vocals all together into one song. Finally, you can find a triangular purple entrance that leads you to this almost serene looking hidden area, with a large rectangular portal that takes you back to the starting cutscene with the earth and visual effects and all that good jazz. Now, what are my thoughts? Positive, honestly. I should give fair warning though, I am not a diehard Daft Punk fan, so I definitely missed a lot of Easter eggs and or details. That being said, I've always been a fan of the music, particularly anything featuring the Crescendolls in their music videos, and my all-time favorite, Robot Rock. If we focus on just the concert, it's an easy 9 out of 10. What ultimately stopped it from being a 10 out of 10 was the interactive elements throughout each song felt a bit lackluster. I just wish there was even more to it. I also wished we had gotten to see the Crescendolls a bit more given how important they are to the duo. Other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. In fact, I rewatched the concert 3 times over until I got a headache and had to step away from my computer. Next, let's talk about the games. We can start off with Robot Rock Arena. This is amazing, chef's kiss on this one. The enemies were challenging, but the music element didn't make me feel bored or tired. Although one suggestion I would like to make is power-ups. I feel like adding a zero gravity effect, damage boost, or speed bonus would have been awesome. Regardless, this mode gets an 8 out of 10. In terms of how much I enjoyed the Around the World LEGO mode, it was pretty lacking, I felt. It was great to watch for about 10 minutes before you would get a bit bored and want to go check something else out. Although one thing I did actually find hilarious was how you had to pick up dancing minifigures and deposit them into different musical roles to fill out the stage. Just the act of picking up the minifig and carrying them around was funny. This mode gets a 5 out of 10 from me. The Daft Punk Jam Stage mode was also a bit lacking too. Whenever I mixed up songs, none really felt like they stuck together too well. None sounded horrendous or anything, but I felt like I couldn't get the right combo. I'm convinced other people probably had a better time than I did, as they would know each of the tracks better and can figure out which combos work best. For me, I was definitely struggling to make the right beat. Regardless, I think it's great allowing people to combine all these different songs together to make a giant mashup song. I also thought the UI was very well put together too. It was easy to select my song and start listening as soon as I selected each one. This made for a pretty seamless experience. It gets a 6 out of 10. I won't speak on this one for too long, but because it's a part of the experience, I wanted to add some final thoughts. The opening cutscene is beautiful and incredibly well done. I think everyone else can agree it looks awesome, and makes me hopeful that future live events will look and run this smoothly. I actually have no complaints on this cutscene. It's a perfect 10 out of 10. Great job. Lastly, let's talk about the Daft Club. My only gripe, and this is a pretty petty one if you ask me, is that the NPCs didn't feel that immersed. Kind of just dancing and nothing else. This is especially notable at the entrance, when the NPCs are just waving their hands below their waists, looking confused that they can't enter the club. I think that part is kind of nodding to the fact that not everyone could get into the Daft Club website back then. I have to give this area a nice 9 out of 10, which I think is great considering how it wasn't even a game mode or anything, just a hangout space. To wrap things up, the Daft Punk experience was a blast, and I'm so glad I hopped on to go see it. It was a ton of fun, and I think the people that worked on this deserve a huge round of applause. The future looks bright for live events and concerts inside of Fortnite. My name is Noir, and thank you very much for watching. Peace. Oh!